American man. Dance hall, good time, sipping on moonshine, covered band, tearing up CDB. Down home, mama, child, living that good life, a backseat grooving. We'll get that ass moving, and playing country music is the way it ought to be. I said, hey, hey, cheers to another day. Here's to the redneck getting that paycheck, with the neon buzzing in the long neck. There ain't no stopping, we'll take it to the grave. We're American made. I said, hey, hey, cheers to another day. Here's to the redneck getting that paycheck, with the neon buzzing in a long neck. There ain't no stopping, take it to the grave. Nah, there ain't no stopping, take it to the grave. We're American made. American made. Take it on.
All right, there you are. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you can hear me. Mic is turned on. We are live. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it very much. I am Loren Culp, and it is Tuesday, July 12th. God bless America. So, elections, right? Just right around the corner. First thing we're going to talk about the campaign briefly, and then secondly, I'm going to talk about going over what I talked about last week. That I told you guys I was going to address the election security, what I would do in Congress to secure our elections, and I'm going to talk about that tonight. And you know, how are we going to fix their elections, right? So that everybody is more confident in the outcome. Because right now, most people aren't, right? We have to fix that. But how can a member of Congress do anything about it? Because it's a state's issue, right? It's the states handle elections. Well, to a point, and that's what most people think. And that's what I'm going to talk about here in a minute. And I'll be using the Constitution as a guide. That's always good, isn't it? Use the rule book for a guide. I'm getting lots of comments on there. You guys, a lot of times, because I'm doing 3 feeds here, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Twitter. So a lot of times I don't see everybody's comments. But I usually, either the night of the show or the next day, I'll go through the comments and answer questions. So if I don't see a question live, don't get upset about it. I will check them out. There's just a lot going across the screen. So how's the campaign going? I get asked that a lot, and rightfully so. The campaign is going absolutely great. We've had a lot of rallies, meet and greets, all around the district. And I've been to a lot of parades, met with a lot of people. As you can tell, my face is sunburnt from that beautiful sunshine over here in the middle of the state. So it got pretty hot today, in fact. If you haven't seen the videos on my Facebook page or Twitter, I haven't met too many people that do Twitter anymore, and a lot of people are getting off of Facebook too as well. But I'm on Truth Social. If we can figure out how to live feed off onto Truth Social, I might start doing that too. But if you're on Truth Social, look me up. But if you haven't seen the videos that I posted on this Facebook page and on Twitter, go to my page after the show and check it out. The enthusiasm from people all over this district, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's absolutely great. We've had a lot of fun. And I've always had a great time. That's the best thing about campaigning, is meeting and talking to we the people, right? And most everybody I talk to, they're sick and tired of our nanny state government, both at the federal level and the state level. But we can fix that, right? Because we the people. Fundraising has been consistently higher every single month over month. It always goes up. Same thing happened in 2020. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and last month was no exception. I want to thank you all very much. Thank you to the volunteers for doing what you do. You guys have never let me down, and I will not let you down either when I'm your representative in Congress. But if you haven't donated, you can go to my website, cultforcongress.com. There's a link on there. We're starting radio ads later this week or the first of next week. We're working on them right now. Let's see, what else did I do? I did a interview a couple days ago with Dave Weigel. He is a reporter from the Washington Post. He was in Washington State, and I met with him and did an interview with him. I think his article's coming out this week, I believe. When we get a hold of it, we'll post it. Thursday, day after tomorrow, I'm going to be on with Dan Ball on One America News to talk about the campaign and also talk about another candidate that is running in this race. The go-kart race driver or whatever, otherwise known as Ricky Bobby. He's in this race for Congress. He was on One America News and claimed to be an endorsed candidate of President Trump on Dan Ball's show. They are not very happy. And we're going to set the record straight on his show on Thursday. I think President Trump's going to be on his show tomorrow, so be sure to check that out. Speaking of Sessler, I get asked a lot lately, where's Chris Gergen, my campaign manager? Y'all know Chris from 2020 campaign, and he's usually at the events that we go to for this congressional race as well. So where's Chris? Why hasn't he been around? Well, it seems like Mr. Sessler likes to play dirty. I never understood it in 2020. I'll never understand it now, why people can't just run and tell people what they believe in, tell them what they're going to do, tell them what they have done. But some people always have to play dirty. So after a conversation between Sessler and Chris in Yakima at an event, Sessler went to the court and got an emergency no contact order against Chris, which completely shut Chris out of going to events because he can't be anywhere within 500 feet. 500 feet of another candidate. So I guess if you can't win on your own merits, try to shut down the campaign of your opponent, right? By being dirty. There's an article that came out in the Tri-City Herald. Let me pull that up. it's just a dirty trick to try to affect my campaign because his is doing so poorly. I think he's polling at 4%. Put $500,000 of his own money in. Just a dirty trick, just trying to shut us down, which it's not going to do. There was a court hearing, because like red flag laws, when you go in to get an emergency no contact order, the person that it's against doesn't even get to defend themselves, right? That's done later. So there was a court hearing scheduled for last Friday, but the judge in that case recused herself because of prior dealings with Mr. Sessler. And a new date was set with a new judge for a week from this Friday in Benton County Court. I've seen the court filings and the statements from multiple witnesses, including the elected sheriff of Klickitat County, sworn affidavits from several witnesses, including the sheriff. And from what I've read, Sessler is a drama queen and a liar, and he's used in the courts for political reasons. Sessler's own son was trying to restrain his dad, for crying out loud. So according to the witnesses, and guess what? There's video that Sessler didn't know about when he lied on the affidavit to the court that clearly shows him as the aggressor and having to be restrained. The guy is a loose cannon, definitely not the temperament we need in Congress. But the truth will come out. It always does. And, by the way, something else you might want to know about this fraud. He got his engineering degree from an online diploma mill that was shut down by the federal government. Total fraud, fake. Ricky Bobby. Okay, that's enough about dirty candidates. I'm giving more airtime than he's gotten on his own page since he started running, and he's only polling at about 4%, so it doesn't matter anyway. So let's move on to elections and how I'm going to secure them when I'm in office, like I talked about last week. And so I know, from being a police officer, the best way to prevent a crime is to take away the opportunity for someone to commit one in the first place. Simple, right? Remove the opportunity for the crime to happen to begin with. Now, I responded to a lot of thefts when I was a cop, and most of the things that were stolen weren't secured. I'd go to somebody's house on a call, and it's always the same. Somebody stole my tools out of my shed, and I'd ask, was it locked up? And they'd say no. Or I'd go to another residence, things were stolen out of my car. Was it locked? And no, was usually the answer. So most thieves don't want to have to work hard to get stuff, right? Most thieves don't want to get caught. So they choose the easy victim, the easy crime. They want to be in and out without a whole lot of hassle. So the answer to making sure our elections aren't susceptible to crime, right, is to secure them. Remove the ability to have them stolen. Make it hard for a criminal to commit the crime in the first place, and you eliminate most of the crime and the fraud. Same as things in your own house or your own backyard or your tool shed. Right now in our elections, we make it easy on the criminals. We make it easy to do what they want to do. So we have to make it hard. So here's what we have to do to lock up our elections, you guys. It's very simple. I've talked about it a million times. We have to go back to election day, not election 2 or 3 weeks, 1 day voting on election day. You have to prove that you're a U.S. citizen in order to get registered to vote to begin with, right? Only U.S. citizens should vote in U.S. elections. That's common sense. Not what the Democrats want, but that's common sense. People need to vote in their own country, just like people need to vote in their own congressional district, or if it's a countywide election, just people that live in that county. So the same with countries. I don't expect to go to France or Germany or Italy or anywhere and vote in their elections. Only the citizens of that country should be voting. So you show up on election day, you show your ID, and they check it against the voter rolls. They give you one paper ballot, and you fill it out at the polling place, and then you turn it in. And then you get a little sticker, says I voted, right? After the polls close, the ballots are counted by hand at the precinct level with no machines. We did it for decades that way. So then and only then are our elections as secure as they can be. I mean, at that point, it's like locking up your shit or locking up your car. We've eliminated multiple possibilities for anyone to do anything criminal. That's common sense. Well, some people have told me, you're running for federal office. I mean, that sounds all fine and dandy, but you're running for federal office and elections are handled by the states. And that's true to a point. Elections are handled by the states, but the Constitution gives Congress the power to make election law, just like the ones that I talked about. And that power comes from Article 1, Section 4 in the U.S. Constitution. Let me pull that up. You went to history quite a while ago anyway. Senators were originally chosen by the state legislature. They were, we voted for our representatives in the legislature. They voted someone to be a senator. That way they could be recalled. All the state legislature had to do is say, this guy's not doing a good job. He's coming back home. We're going to send somebody else. But they made it so that it's a popular vote. So the senators are not really as responsive to we the people as they used to be. Maybe that was done on purpose. Anyway, so we can do that. Article 1, Section 4. And at the very least, we can make sure that the elections of people who represent us in Congress are secure. And once we pass this law for our reps in Congress, with the pressure from we the people, we can get it changed for all of our elections at the county level, the city level, the state level, on up. So that's it. Very simple. That's one thing that I love about our founders and about the Constitution and the rule of law. They didn't make it full of legalese so that you had to get a room full of lawyers to figure out what they were wanting and what they said. It's very simple. And that's pretty straightforward. So let me see. Check and see if I can get some questions or comments up here. Yes, Becky, we do have to get away from the mail-in ballots and those machines. Absolutely. Smash the likes. Yeah, you guys hit those thumbs up and hearts. This will get it seen by more people. Thank you, Paul. Jennifer, we want you in Congress. I do believe that's going to happen, Jennifer. Thank you very much. There's been a minimum of 2 legitimate polls done in this district, and they've been vetted by reputable news organizations that have all of the data from the polls. Unlike some people are putting out polls that they're just making a graphic, they're just making it up, not releasing the data. The 2 polls that were done in this race, the data was released, it was vetted by news organizations, and I am in the lead. 6 to 8 points ahead of Newhouse since December, and the other candidates are in single digits. The Democrat is nipping on the heels of Newhouse, and he might even get primaried. Wouldn't that be awesome? So thank you, Jennifer. It's looking good. We need to keep it going. Night Watch Nate. How you doing, Nate? You smashed that like button. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Dondo, Lester, just go back to voting in person with ID. Problem solved. Just what I said, right? It's really complicated, isn't it? No. It's very, very simple to fix this problem. Well, there you go right there, Jeremy. Where is Chris? I think I answered that. If you came in late, rewatch this because I talked about it. Let's see. A lot of comments. Hi, Julie. Glad you're on here. I would agree with that, Jake. Washington State has been fair since Gregoire and Dina Rossi. Yep, they just kept recounting until they found enough and then called it a day. Needs to go back that way. It sure does. Definitely. All right, you guys, make sure that you share this for me, okay? And remember one thing. When you vote for someone to represent you in Congress this year, don't gamble your vote on a candidate who says they will protect your rights. Vote for the candidate who has proven that he will. I appreciate your support and your vote, you guys. Thank you for being here, and thanks for all that you do. And don't forget, if you can donate on my website, we'll be able to do more radio and TV ads. Elections coming up here in a few weeks. You guys always remember, never give in, never give up, always stand for America, okay? Don't give in, don't back down, don't submit, don't be a sheep. We got way too many sheep in this country. Don't be one. All right? You guys have a great night. Let's do what we do.